Well, this time of the year, most of you are thinking about how to control the weeds in the garden. We've had some rains and those weeds are growing quite fast. Your plants are growing fast too, but you need to control those weeds because they're not only unsightly, but they can steal nutrients and water from the plants. So you want to get rid of those. One of the things that people first think about is cultivating with a hoe like this. This is a traditional hoe. It's got a broad head on it here that can be sharpened, but it's one that you bend over slightly to utilize, and it can be hard on the back. And people think of this as a lot of work, and it is. But there's some other hoes, cultivating hoes, I wanted to show you today that are a little different. This is an Amish type hoe. It is a hoe that you move back and forth. It's called a shuttle type hoe. You'll notice the head is shaped quite differently. It is sharpened also, and you'll also notice it's got a very, very long handle, and this allows you to move back and forth, but you stand upright, so it's not as difficult on the back. And it can be a very nice type cultivating tool, especially when you're in tilled up ground. Another type of the same shuffle hoe is this one here. Very sharp, very pointy edges that allow you to get in between the plants within the row. Another long handle, and it's used upright also. This can be removed, it can be sharpened. Very nice tool there. Then there's those collinear hoes. We've got one here. This is has a removable blade. It's a very small blade that can be sharpened. But this is a long handle, and this hoe is meant to be used upright with your thumbs up in an upright position and moved around. This does a very nice job, and it makes your back not hurt after you use it. Another example of that same type, this one here, another sharp edged, very small, and you can get these in various sizes that really allow you to move in and around the plants. Now again, cultivating is a very important way to remove weeds, get weeds out of the garden. But remember, every time you disturb the soil, you're bringing weed seeds to the surface, and the new rains that come will bring up new plants. So let me show you now a few other things that we can do to suppress the weeds in your garden. Well, another method for controlling weeds or suppressing weeds in your garden would be use a mulch. That could be an organic mulch, like we're going to show here, or an inorganic mulch, which would be plastic or some other type of material. But this organic mulch, maybe even shredded paper or newspaper can be used. It can be put right around the plant. You'll see these tomato plants here. We want to keep the weeds away from those. And one way would be to put a thick layer of this paper mulch, and this paper will get wet and it'll slowly degrade, but if you put it in thick enough, it's going to suppress weeds. They're not going to get that light and they're not going to grow through there. Because in the row here is where you have the most problem. In the row middles, you can really use hoes and other types of tools to cultivate that. Straw is another one. Straw like this material here can be used to put right around the tomato plants, as you see here, and it's going to block the sunlight. It needs to be in there pretty thick though. Just a thin layer really won't help you much. Some people use newspapers. Shredded newspaper or whole newspapers can be used, and those can be placed in here, and once they get wet, they'll stay on the ground. These kind of things really suppress that weed growth. Light can't get through, the weeds don't grow, and you don't have to worry so much about cultivating, which is a time saver for you. Well, some of the things we've talked about, the mulches, the cultivation tools, they work very well in the garden because the ground's already tilled up. But in the landscape, in the yard, they don't work as well. So some people will turn to chemicals to spot treat weeds. There are some good conventional type herbicides that are out there. An alternative to that would be something like this, typical household vinegar. It's 5% acetic acid. In a spray bottle like this, it works very well, and it can be very effective for treating plants such as this weed here, this American thistle. Now, it's best to treat on a sunny day early in the morning, spraying very close to the plant, remembering that the breeze, if it's windy, will take this and kill all the plants around it also. Young plants, maybe 1 or 2 applications will kill them. Older plants, as they get a little more tough, it might take several applications. But it's a nice alternative to a conventional herbicide. For more information about weed control in the garden or in the landscape, contact your local extension office. For From the Ground Up, I'm Chris Mullins. We'll see you next time.